guys, welcome back for another video. We're going to be breaking down and going over and predicting our Saturday NFL playoff games we have coming up for our wild card round, but solely for the Saturday games today, breaking those down, predicting the outcome, who's going to win, who's going to lose, and what the final score will be. But first things first, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments about these games or anything else, drop them below and I will respond. We're going over every NFL game every day, all the way up to the Super Bowl. We have our wild card round starting out Saturday, Sunday, Monday games. We have a long prediction video that goes over all of them. Came out yesterday, but this is going to be focusing on our two Saturday matchups we have coming up, and we're also going over all of our college football playoffs. We have the national championship coming up next week for college football. There's a lot going on in the world of football, a lot going on in the world of sports. If you're a football fan, sports fan, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel so you can follow along with us. So we have our very first game Saturday, January 11th, 4:30 p.m., the AFC wildcard game on CBS. The 11-6 LA Chargers here versus the 10-7 Houston Texans. Right now, the Chargers, 52.8% chance to win this game. They are 3-point favorites. The over-under here is 42.5. This is a Harbaugh team. We know that they're going to run the ball. He wants to establish the line of scrimmage, wants to be physical, wants to be disciplined. Special teams, run the ball, play elite level defense. He comes into this game with the #1 overall defense in all of the NFL this season. You know that defense always travels with you. No matter where they go, they at least have that crutch there. They have the foundation of a physical team with their defense that's going to keep the score close, keep it as a one-possession game, always give their offense the chance to be able to score. And Justin Herbert, he's been slinging the ball. Right now, Chargers 3-point favorites. Over in here, 42.5. Chargers are averaging 23.6 points a game. They're throwing for 213.5. They're running for 110.7. But it's that defense, only giving up 17.7 points a game. They have Justin Herbert. This is probably his most efficient, cleanest season he's had yet. 3,900 passing yards, 23 passing touchdowns, 3 picks, only 3 picks, and he's in the playoffs right now. Playing clean, non-turnover football, letting the defense basically control the pace of this game, use that running game. They are fully healthy right now. They have the coach, they have the quarterback, they have the running back, they have the wide receiver, they have the defense. Looking at the Houston Texans, the Houston Texans are kind of coming into the playoffs limping. They didn't have a great last month of the season, had a long losing streak there, pulled one out the last week. They're limping into the playoffs. That's not the mindset you want to have coming in here. You want to be hot. You want to be carrying momentum into this very first round of the playoffs. They've lost Diggs. They've lost Dell. They have a lot of injuries. It's not their fault. Stuff happens. Stroud not having the year he had last season. He's still having a pretty decent season, but 3,800 yards, 20 touchdowns, 12 picks. He's got to get those up. He's got to keep the turnovers down. If you allow the Chargers to dictate the pace of this game, force turnovers, they will turn those turnovers into points. You don't want to allow that to happen. You want to keep this game low scoring. You want it to be a one-possession game, and you want to make sure that you set it up to where you have the ball last. Right now, Houston, they're averaging 21.9. They're throwing for 207.4, running for 112.3. They're giving up 21.9 points per game. Looking at the playmakers here, obviously for the Chargers, they have Justin Herbert. They have J.K. Dobbins. They need Dobbins to be healthy. They're going to need him to make a deep playoff run. And they also have Ladd McConkey. Ladd McConkey owned the second half of the regular season. Stepped up massive. Rookie, just under 1,200 yards receiving. Obviously, their connection's going to be tantamount going forward. And then looking at Houston, they are down Dell. They are down Diggs. But they have Mixon there. He's shy of 1,100 yards. Nico Collins missed, 3 or 4 games and still got over 1,000 yards receiving. When he's on the field, when he's healthy, he's a top 5, top 3 wide receiver in the NFL right now. This game is going to potentially be close first half, but I think it's going to be the Chargers defense that's going to allow them to pull the game away second half, namely the fourth quarter. We have the Chargers winning this one, 24-17. We have them covering the spread, but we're just slightly going to go with the under. And then our final Saturday game we're going to have coming up, this is our prime video game, 8 p.m., January 11th. The 10-7 Pittsburgh Steelers, them just like the Texans, they come into this first playoff round kind of limping into the playoffs. They've been very conservative. They kind of have a Harbaugh mindset. They play great defense. They run the ball. Conservative game plan. But it has not been working for them like it worked for the Chargers. They had a really hot first half. Second half, though, they lost the momentum. Russell Wilson, you got to get a lot more aggressive. You have to be pushing the ball vertically down the field. They're going to be playing the 12-5 Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore right now is one of the top 3 or 4 teams you don't want anything to do with. You do not want to have to face this team in the playoffs. You hope someone else beats them and that you get to play them. But right now, they have the Ravens first round. The Ravens defense, highly questionable first half, especially in the secondary, giving up 265 passing yards per game. They got that number way down once the season ended. Defense played really good football the last month of the regular season, especially in the secondary. And they have the number 1 overall rush defense in the NFL. They get after it. They do create havoc at the line of scrimmage. You used to be able to throw on them, but not so much the last season. Can they keep that disciplined mindset going into this wild card matchup? They are heavy favorites here. 72.2% chance to win this game. The Ravens, 9.5-point favorites. That's a massive spread for an NFL playoff game. The over in here is 43.5. We know who the Steelers have. They have Mike Tomlin. They have Russell Wilson. I said the whole season prior to Russell Wilson being the starter, I thought Justin Fields gave them the better chance to win because he was a more dynamic playmaker. He might have his tendencies, he might have his limitations, but he can expand this offense a little further than Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson did not have a bad season by any means, but I don't think he's the difference maker. He just won't usually cost you the game, but he might not do anything to win you the game. Right now, 2,500 yards, 16 touchdowns, 5 picks. Very conservative options here. He's throwing, they are averaging 22.4 points a game. Throwing for 192. They got to get that up. They got to get that over 200. They're running for 127.4. Their defense gives up 20.4 points a game. They don't have a bad defense by any means. A top 10 defense. That's Mike Tomlin's specialty. And they only give up 98.7 yards on the ground. They do have a top 5 rush defense. But obviously, Baltimore has the number 1 rush defense. But we all know who they have. They have who might be the best player in the NFL this season. Easily a top 2, top 3 NFL player. Probably going to win his 3rd MVP right now. His 2nd back-to-back. Lamar Jackson putting up video game numbers from game 1 all the way through week 18. He finished with 4,200 passing yards. 41 passing touchdowns. That's his career high. Only 4 interceptions. He also added 4 rushing touchdowns to that. 45 overall touchdowns. Like I just said, he's been putting up video game numbers since week 1. I had him on my fantasy team this season. I won my fantasy championship. I can give a lot of that to Lamar Jackson every week, giving me 30 to 40 points like clockwork. Death, taxes, Lamar Jackson giving me 40 points. Right now, they have the number 3 overall offense, averaging 30.5 points a game, throwing for 237.4, running for 187.6 yards per game. The number 1 rushing team in the NFL. Very, very balanced, averaging just under 500 yards of total offense every game. That's college stats right there, but they're putting that up on NFL defenses. They're giving up 21.2 points a game. Like I mentioned earlier, they used to be giving up 25 to 26. That last month, they really worked that number down, playing really solid football. You want to be hot going into the playoffs right now. They started out kind of icy on the defensive side, but right now their offense and their defenses is clicking right when you want them to be clicking. That is going into the playoffs. Can they keep that momentum going? They give up 244 passing yards. They're only giving up 80.1 on the ground. Number 1 rush defense in the NFL. Looking at the playmakers, Pittsburgh, expect a steady dose of Najee Harris. They want to run fast. They want to run often. They want to control time of possession. Keep that Baltimore offense off the field. Keep the ball out of Lamar Jackson's hands. They have George Pickens. You got to be healthy here. You got to play smart. You got to catch the ball. 3 drops last weekend. Potentially might have cost them a better seeding here. You have to step up. Russell Wilson, he's going to be looking for you on 3rd and long. You got to be the guy. And Baltimore's offense is loaded. They will be without Flowers, but this offense is stacked. Derrick Henry, 79 yards, under 2,000 to finish the regular season. His best season. They have Andrews. They have Likey Richard. They are loaded at quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, stacked up and down the field on the offensive side. When it comes to the outcome, we have Baltimore pulling off the win here, winning this one 28 to 17. It's close first half, but then they just take over running the ball, very physical. They wear down the Steelers' defensive line, and that opens up the play action. We have them covering, and we're going to go with the overs. That's just our Saturday games. We'll have the Sunday games coming out tomorrow, and we'll also focus on that Monday game. But hey, NFL playoff football is here. We got to love it. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments, please drop it below, and I will respond. Thank you.